Well, you know what they say, everybody. If it looks like a mushroom, smells like a mushroom, then it must be a really quirky, strange video game. Which is what we have here today on the QuickSave review. Smells like a mushroom. This is a somewhat recent release on Steam. $16.99. If it looks interesting to you to play. I'm kind of mixed on this one, and we'll get into that as we go here. I just finished a mission, and we're now able to upgrade. I got 25,000 parts, so now I can go in here and see what else we got for guns, or I can upgrade the guns I've already got. I feel like I used this gun quite a bit, the little blaster. I'm gonna upgrade this because I use it quite a bit. And what do we got here? How much is it to unlock? 2K? Okay. We'll get a couple of these new ones here, since we got so much. And what do we got over here? More range, faster attack. Okay, so we got a lasso laser, another weapon. Okay. We will unlock these new weapons here to try out. Let's see. More healing orb drops when you destroy stuff. I know a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense to you guys right now, but right now we are going to just try to get some minimal upgrades here. So this game is strange. You play as a carrot with a family, and at the beginning of the game, the carrot loses his wife, seemingly due to negligence for the team that he fights for. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird game. And it should be, considering it's called Smells Like a Mushroom. A little disappointing, though, that you don't play as a mushroom. You're fighting the mushrooms. You're not actually a mushroom. You are a carrot. So, I mean, you got vegetable background. You know, you're raised as a vegetable. But, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We got 5K. We'll get this last weapon, too. Why not? And then we'll call it here. There we go. All right. We're done upgrading. Didn't realize I was going to come out with so many upgrades there. So this is the planet we're going to go to next, is Jupiter. We just finished Mars. I know it said that we should go talk to somebody. But anyway, this is where you live for now. After the mushrooms invaded with their crazy stuff, you live with, like, the broccoli guy. You know, broccoli sage. This weird psycho carrot guy with dynamite. I don't know if that's supposed to be one of your kids, or if he's a... I don't know what's going on there. It did say that we should go talk to somebody, but I don't know who it was talking about. There's a showcase. I don't know what most of this stuff is. This, as you can tell, this game has like kind of an old school hub to it, where there's just like stuff everywhere. I'm not quite sure what it all does besides the upgrading area and, you know, the actual launch mission area here. So this game it's a mixed bag, which, you know, to coin a overused phrase from the old game reviews, but it really is. What I was kind of hopeful about this game, because it's really quirky, and you play as vegetables, and there's like really bad, terrible jokes and puns throughout. And that stuff is forgivable for a game that like has like you know, kind of a weird aesthetic and a weird, you know, environment, weird characters, weird humor, that kind of stuff. But the gameplay itself doesn't do itself much favors to fix that. But here's a cutscene so you can get an idea of like the humor and everything behind the game.
According to the ancient Martian book, mushrooms are connected by an invisible mycelium. They're led by a certain Satanist Boletus character. The good news is that if we destroy them, all the other mushrooms will rot away. Maybe. Now the captain will deliver the bad news, because he's great at it.
Satanist feeds on the UV radiation of stars like our sun. To get him, we must obtain technology for a special outfit. Our resident engineer, Allstein, claims that if we can deliver him these techno-nonsense pieces, he can make something that will keep Cortado from becoming a fried carrot. According to the book, the first item is fireproof shoes. We're heading for Jupiter. Be careful. If it turns out some fungus has worn those shoes, they may smell worse than Allstein.
Caramba.
Caramba. There's your reply there. So yeah, as you can tell, bad humor. Conversations with other vegetables. You know the drill here. Okay, so we are in this new level here.
Oh, thanks. This info's gonna be a game changer for me.
You're welcome. I can also sing this song.
You can also shut your spicy mouth.
I didn't catch what did he say at the beginning? Something about Frank Zucchini said something, but I didn't even get what he caught. I don't know. So I want to point out the first thing, which is this has happened at both levels so far. The first level was Mars, and Mars was like completely red, and some of the enemies were red, so it was hard to tell what you were doing here. This level looks like it might do the same thing, where the colors are a bit washed out, so I'm not sure what to expect here. Anyway, we got some new weapons. We're going to start with our blaster, because that's what we were using for just about everything. We only had 2 weapons to start last level here. So yeah, it's a 3D platformer, run and gun, 3D gunning, but I don't know. 3D platformer mixed with combat. It's got, it's like a Ratchet and Clank style game, except, minus all the polish and everything. This is a game that you could tell was really made by talented individuals that know what they're doing, but I don't think that they did enough, like, focus testing or, like, user testing to kind of see what people might expect from their game. When I played the first tutorial intro level, when the mushrooms invaded, that felt very, like, introductory, like, hey, welcome to the game, you could do this, you could do that, they tutorialize certain things. But have you played one of those games where, like, oh, we got mushrooms, okay, we're gonna do some fighting. You play one of those games where, like, they kind of pick and choose what they're gonna tutorialize, and then you have to, like, figure out other things on your own? It's like they pick and chose, like, certain things where they're like, hey, don't forget that you can double jump. You're like, cool. But they don't really talk about, like, in the last level, there's a section where they're like, don't forget you can double jump up to this platform. And I was like, okay, cool. But you couldn't actually reach the platform by double jumping. You had to double jump and then dash as well, which I was like, oh, did we even cover dashing? Because you can dash like that. So it was weird because I was like, oh, right, okay, I got to double jump and then dash, but I cannot quite. I gotta lead this guy, but there we go. Jeez. Get this guy. One of the other things you may notice in this section, I'll talk about it after we finish this fight. These sections where you fight are really strange because they're so tight. Like, you had all of those enemies up there fighting, right? And then in this area, like, all of the stuff here is just like these mushrooms you can't run through. It's geometry. See, even like this one here, these boxes you can't run through. So when you're trying to shoot the mushrooms, you only got, like, and you've been trying to keep cover at the same time, you're trying to shoot through these areas, right? And you can't because you can only shoot through here, but the mushrooms are flying all over the place. So you gotta run up here and try to get them to get more of a vantage point. But this is how the game has been, is that a lot of the combat areas, and this might be my biggest gripe with the game, are just too tight. Like, they need to be double the size, maybe at least a size and a half of what they currently are, At checkpoints, you are going to get these little areas here where you can fill up your ammo. You can use the parts you collect to do that. And then we're going to use this. I guess this is going to blast us over to the next area. So, I don't think the team that made this game is... This is kind of fun, actually. Going through the air. They're very creative. You can tell they're very creative. They came up with, like, very interesting ideas for the game, for the characters, all that stuff. But there's just, like, the pieces of it that just don't quite mesh or come together for me. Combat is part of it. I think the platforming is mostly fine. I don't think I have any issue with that. So, like, a part like this doesn't feel too bad. But the combat where, like, you're basically running to different areas, and that's when you have a fight. Like here, we just jumped to this area, now I guess we're fighting. There's not, like, much of a, like, it follows the sort of, like, Doom Eternal formula of just like, okay, now you're in a combat arena. Now you're platforming and doing other stuff. Now you're in a combat arena. Now you're platforming and doing other stuff. There's no, like, perpetual, gradual, actual gameplay. Like, everything is defined by its area. And that to me is like, I'm not the biggest fan of that design approach, so maybe that's like a personal thing. I've always been more a fan of, like, games that actually tie everything together. Like, oh, I got a platform in this area, but also we got to break this stuff up to get the collectibles. But also there's an enemy at the top of this platforming thing, or I got to fight enemies as I'm platforming. Stuff like that. Like, I don't understand why it's like games these days seem to, like, kind of... you're either doing one or you're doing two. Not the biggest fan of that. I remember the original Doom, the original Quake. It was like you could kill the enemies first and then make your way around, but then once you made your way around, you're going to find like 2 enemies in a room.
It takes centuries for Satanists to consume all the UV energy.
It's not like they were saving all the enemies. They were saving all the enemies for one room where they just kept spawning in, and then they're like, okay, now you're safe. I don't know. To me, it's very strange. It like feels very much takes the immersion out of the game. Because it takes the immersion level out of the game because you're like, okay, I am playing a game because now I do this part, now I do this part. And you have to think about what you're doing more so than... I don't know if I'm really even making sense here. I'm just rambling. But either way, this game does that. As you can see here, like it's like now you break up things and platform a little bit until you find the next area where you fight. You got a checkpoint. And now you're fighting. Another thing, too, is checkpoints are usually used to refill your ammo. I noticed that they like to put the checkpoints right before a fight. And by right before a fight, I mean like you activate checkpoint and then you're fighting. It's not like they give you a chance to actually collect ammo from... Because what if before you started the fight you didn't have any ammo? That's been one of my sticking points with these is they pop up so quick. It's like, what if I came up here and I didn't have enough? Which was actually an issue I had when I was in the Mars level. Like I'm like, oh, I'm running out of ammo here. And so just to keep kind of like talking about all the other stuff that I'm not the biggest fan of here. We're playing the combat music. Is there's someone going to fight us, or are we just going to get killed by these things? Oh yeah, there's enemies up here. Okay. I thought I was going to get crunched. I think that the game itself started with a decent tutorial level, but the first level, Mars, when I was playing it, I felt like it was too hard of a first level for a game. Like, you kill tons of mini bosses in these really tight corridors. The main boss of it was, I think, fun, but if this is like, if you're a young gamer or a newer gamer, oh, we got a boss to fight here, it looks like. If you're a younger gamer or a newer gamer or something, you're going to have a tough time with this game. And this, I think, is one of those things where, like, you have a game with a cute aesthetic that looks silly. It's going to attract kids. It's going to attract a different type of gamer. You know, it's not going to attract the Call of Duty gamer that, you know, I feel like is the type of gamer who's going to have the skill to pull this off. But, like, you'll see, for example, like this boss here, we have ads coming at us. The thing shoots at us constantly. And... this would be a good boss, you know, to have later down the line. This is the second level, so maybe here it's appropriate. I wish I showcased the Mars level, because I feel like if you saw that was the first level of the game, you would have been like, wow, seriously? Like, they're expecting you to do this kind of jumping and this kind of fighting during the main boss of the first level of the game. It's a lot. But I don't know. It's one of those things for me where, like, aesthetics and... demand of talent don't really match up, and I feel like that happens a lot with video games. You get a really creative team who comes up with a creative world that, you know, only a portion of gamers are probably going to want to play, and then they make the game a little too hard, and it's only going to work, you know, select few games are actually going to make it up to be like one of those really, really popular games that people are like, oh, it looks really weird and it's really difficult. Why don't they make more games like this? You know, that everybody complains about. The whole gaming community on Twitter, you know, bitches about how, like, oh, there's no original games, but there's tons of original games coming out all the time. You're just not playing them, right? I don't know if it's because they're too hard or people pan them or what it is, or because it wasn't created by, you know, a AAA studio or whatever. I don't know. Whatever the case. These games do exist. They come out. All right, let's try one of these other... well, that doesn't feel very good to use, that's for sure. How about this thing? What the heck? Oh, I can only use that once? All right, the blaster feels good. The other weapons I am not super sure about. Another thing that makes the bosses too hard is that they're sponges. So, like, you gotta really... I thought I switched weapons. There we go. We use the shotgun here. Like, you could tell that, like, the blaster... and I'm trying to use other weapons here, too, just to experiment. But, like, they're not doing the damage. Somebody might argue, hey, that's because... maybe you need to upgrade your guns or something. Yeah, maybe. But I'm only in the second level of the game, man. I don't know. I apologize. Like, I'm not trying to sound like 100% like super negative against this game, because I'm not. There's just a lot of design decisions that were made that I just don't understand. And maybe it's just because they're a newer team. I don't know. But there are things that could be fixed. There are things that could be remedied, you know? And I don't think they will be. Maybe in a sequel? I have no idea.
One guy looked down on me. It's bad enough that my mother-in-law does it.
Oh boy. Mother-in-law joke. But yeah, like the game is not terrible. It plays fine. Like if you want to play like a more kind of like janky feeling platforming shooty style game, you know, then I think you'll have fun with this. I think there is fun to be had here, but I just don't think it's for the type of gamer that, you know, they are thinking they're going to get with this game. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does. But it's a strange dichotomy. I think I've talked about it on the show before, but just these developers who create games that have like a really weird aesthetic or cute aesthetic, and they make the game super hard. It's really weird. Oh, geez. It's really weird to me. Because I just wonder, like, when I play it, I'm like, who is this technically for? Who are you making this game for? And some people might say, like, oh, they're making it for themselves. It's the game they always wanted to make. Sure. But, like, I always assume most developers want to create a game that a lot of people are going to play, right? Not just, like, 20 people. That's weird that their weapons could break these up. Makes it a fair bit more challenging. See, another really tight area to have a battle. Like, I'm just on that really tight platform down there fighting enemies. Not that that was a hard battle or anything, but just, like, there's no room. Hey, look at this. You just have a bridge, and you got, like, 1 million enemies up here you're trying to kill. Again, not that it's super difficult. But, like, if you're going for that Doom Eternal, like, hey, we're gonna open up an arena fight here, you should probably make it more like an arena. What the hell was that? Is this guy... I thought he was dying. He's flipping around? What is he doing? What in the hell is going on? Okay, should we try this? Okay, that's not killing him. Alright. Alright, we gotta kill these ads first. They are very annoying. The ads in this game, oh my god. When you're trying to kill one main enemy and there's ads running around at you, it is super frustrating and annoying. They're just constantly pegging you. You're trying to get away. There's always a straggler enemy, too. I wish it did like the Gears of War thing where it was like the music played until you killed all the enemies so you know. Because again, if you're going to do that arena-based style fighting... You gotta communicate it to the player that, like, okay, this portion's done. Oh, another tight area to fight in. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of the combat encounters in this. Not for me. I think the area is way too tight for what they're demanding you to do. It's serviceable. Like, you can manage it. It's just not. It's not. To me, it's not fun. I think if you're going to make a game like this, you really got to look at the companies who do it right. I've already mentioned Ratchet and Clank. I think you should go back to that series if you're making a game like this and see what they did to make it work. Not that you need to match the art style or the aesthetic or anything, but you should at least, like, see what they did and try to match what they're doing, right? Like, oh, I see. When they have enemies introduced here, they give the player a big area to fight, right? Simple things like that. But yeah, with this game though, like, it's, like I said, it's fine. It's not terrible or anything. It's just like, it's mediocre, and it kind of makes me mad that, like, this is a game that could have been a lot better. Could have had better writing, could have had better combat encounters. But it's not broken. It's just very mediocre. And it's probably not a game that I would, like, continue playing after I do this video here. So that's really where the problem is for me. I love when I get the chance to play a game on the channel where I'm like, you know what, after I finish this QuickSave review here, I am going to continue to play this game and finish it, right? Sometimes you even get those games that are so good, it's like, I'm going to finish this before I even do my little video, right? God, one of the other things, too, I haven't used all the weapons, but a lot of the weapons don't seem super fun to use. The blaster seems the most effective. Okay, that's interesting. But there's so much going on screen. Like, look at all the bullets and everything else going on. I can't even... having a real hard time, like, seeing if my gun is actually killing them or hitting them. See, I apparently missed a bunch of guys with this. Okay. Again, interesting gun, but I don't know. I don't know. So maybe if you're really into, like, you know, the Abe's Odyssey series, you know, like Stranger, the stuff like that, you might really, really enjoy this.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Oh, we got a train. Look at that. The cyber train thing. This is totally a Ratchet and Clank thing. You jump on the little taxi that takes you to the next area. This is 100% what that is. See, look, checkpoint. We got to a checkpoint, but then they're like, here are the enemies. No chance to reload or restock. We got flying guys. Here, at least they actually made like a bigger area for us to fight in. That's nice. I feel like that's a first. The first real big area they gave you to fight in was the main boss of the Mars level. I was like, okay, you get a big area, but then they end up clustering so many enemies in it, it doesn't even really matter. I hate that flipping, jumping enemy. I hate that guy. How do you even hit him? He's just flipping all over the place with the shield. Is he glitched? Because I have not seen that enemy until this level. See, look, that's what he's supposed to do, is move the shield and shoot at you. Is he going to flip again? Yeah, look, there he flips again. Weird. Weird. I don't know what's happening there. All right, so we got a big orange guy flying around, coming after us. Come on, flip. Do whatever you're going to do. Let's try the orange thing. Or, nope, they're this orange gun. Okay, we got him. Trying to, come on, bring your shield up, dude. Okay, we got rid of him.
Damn, why are they so angry?
Did you pay for a taxi?
Yep, I got a special currency for them.
What does that mean? Am I missing the joke on that one? Did you pay for a taxi? Yep, I got a special currency for him. What am I missing there? Guys, tell me if you watched all the way through this. Tell me, what does he mean by that joke? Because I totally don't get that one. What am I missing there? Okay, so now we can fly, bounce up here. Oh. And then we're going to go up this way. One of the other things I'm not the biggest fan... This is just a personal thing. I don't like how long the levels are in this one. Mars level, like, took a good long time to finish. And this one kind of is feeling the same way. They call, you know, it's a mission. I'm more a fan of, like, you know, if they just had like a few quick levels with a game like this, like, you know, jump in. Oh, it's not popping up anymore. That was weird. I don't think that one is functioning like it's supposed to be. But yeah, I'd rather jump in and do like shorter missions with this, because I feel like these longer levels kind of like burn me out a bit. Yeah, checkpoint. And it probably burned me out because I'm not having as much fun as I'd like to be having. That might be That might be part of it, I think.
As usual. Just
Oh.
a bunch of toxins.
Is this the final boss for this one? Alright, so we're going to have a bunch of flying whatevers coming after us, plus ads. So this is kind of how the boss battles seem to go. Even if you're doing the mini boss battles, whatever, you have tons of ads coming at you at the same time that you're trying to take out the main boss. And then they, to make it more difficult, they keep continually adding... They keep continually adding more enemies on the ground to come after you. Which I'm sure is what they're going to do here. And then they respawn, too, which makes it pretty annoying. We're going to try to use this guy because it's a bit more direct as he moves here. I'm almost dead. They're also not, like, super... They don't hand out health as much as I'd like, either. I remember there were a couple times I, like, near died in the middle of a boss battle. And it was not super fun. Like trying to, I'm like, where's the health? Where's the health? Where's the health? I had to like basically just dodge for a while without shooting to make sure I wasn't getting hit because so much is going on. Though it does look like if you, okay, we can keep continuing here. So that's nice. So if you die, I did see that you have lives. So if you look at the bottom left, it's teeny tiny. It's really, really small, the UI there. But it is there. I think this orange gun might be the most effective for this fight here. Those are your lives, though. You do have lives, which I haven't seen lives used in a game since, like, well, I guess Mario still uses lives. Wow, this thing has the longest range in the world. Holy moly. Like, this thing's trying to dodge now. Oh. Apparently I picked up some free health there. I'm just going after this thing to kill it. Oh no! We're out of the good stuff. Hit him. There we go. Go inside the factory main section. Oh, I thought that was the main boss. Okay, I guess not. But, hey, you know what? I think that's a good look at this game. I've done enough complaining about it. I don't think it's an awful game, but I just wish it was a little bit better, you know? It could have been a lot worse. Let's just say that, right? But it's not my favorite. It's probably not a game I'm going to continue playing much here. The aesthetics kind of hurt my eyes a bit. The combat is not super fun. It's not for me. We'll say that, okay, guys? But there you go. That is Smells Like a Mushroom, and I will see you all in the next one.